With the subject that is on most people's lips, the Crucible, the World Championship, the relationship. Where do we stand on that now?
It's a good time to talk because I've had a very productive meeting today with Sheffield City Council, and we all know where our heart is. Unfortunately, it's got to marry up with our wallet because that's what professional sport's about. You know, I'm looking at prize money levels and thinking snooker players have got to have more. So it's my job to go and generate more, really, or Matchroom's job, it's World Snooker's job. I'm impressed with their attitude. There's still some way to go. We've set ourselves a target of getting together in 3 months to see where we're going towards. I was quite honest with them and saying what we need. And it all comes down to money, of course.
Do they need help in finding that money?
They're going to need some help, and hopefully, even at a bigger scale, hopefully government identifies that this is an event that's very good for Britain, and as indeed it is. But sometimes perhaps it hasn't had the respect of that because we've always been here. We've got the history, we've got the love. My life changed at the Crucible. I don't want to leave the Crucible. But if the money's right, I have to, because I'm going to be under pressure from players to say, everybody else's prize money, darts players, boxers, whatever, their prize money's going up. What's us? And how do we inspire the next generation of people other than saying, look, like Luke Littler in darts, you can change your life through this sport. So I've got to give that, and that's going to involve negotiations on both sides. I think we'll know much clearer where we are by the end of this year. We'll have a contract until 27, so we're looking at where will we be in 2028.
How much canvassing of opinion of snooker fans, obviously players, I know that there have been discussions, but snooker fans in general, the impression that we get in the media is that snooker fans don't want it to leave. Now, there are some people who are realistic and they understand that, but the majority of them say stay here. This is where the soul is.
Absolutely, I agree with them. I don't want it to move, but I have to live in the real world. And the real world is, while every player says there's nothing like walking out of the Crucible, every single player will jump at the chance to earn double, treble, whatever the prize money. That's the world we're in. I'm a fan as much as anybody else, but I'm a realist. I built a big business on making sure that we deliver to players first and the public second. And whether it stays in Sheffield, moves in somewhere else in the UK, or whether it moves to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Beijing, it's going to be a tough one. But we've got to try and find some middle ground, and we're not going to be difficult. We're not going to be difficult. Our heart says we want to stay here because we're fans as well. Players need to be paid. That's what it comes down to.
Not many players have inspired snooker players and snooker fans as much as Ronnie has over the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
How much have you enjoyed his presence here at the Crucible this year?
No one is irreplaceable. Ronnie gets very close. You know, he doesn't necessarily go by the rule book. He doesn't do what anyone else. He's a genius. And geniuses are different types of people, so you have to appreciate them and you have to accommodate them. That's a fact of life. You know, whatever sport you're in, the bigger personalities that actually can perform on the big stage are unforgettable, and you can't do without them. I need more of them. I need to clone Ronnie O'Sullivan 6 or 7 times. But for the moment, the man himself is a legend. He's by head and shoulders the best player snooker's ever seen in the history of the game. But he's getting older. And all of us, yourself and myself included, we need to bring up the next generation. I think Ronnie can help us do that. He had a good idea the other day about
snooker
he
academies.
would like to be involved with snooker academies. Music to my ears. Ronnie, come and sit down with World Snooker. Let's make a plan. Let's put... Because, one, he deserves the legacy of being the greatest player ever. 2 is he can actually fulfil people's dreams by encouraging them to pick up a cue and start playing. If he's serious, I would love to sit down, or him sit down with World Snooker, and we will work out a plan, not just for the UK, but for Europe as well. Under the Ronnie O'Sullivan band, we can't ask for anything more than that.
In the last 4 of this year's World Championship, we've got Zhao Xingtong, a player who obviously had his time away for certain transgressions. What are your opinions on the length of time he had out and him coming back and being involved in this tournament?
I think he made a genuine mistake, and he's paid the price. I never look back in my life. I only look forward. There's no point looking back. You can't change what's happened. He's done. So the slate's clear. He's back on merit. He's had an unbelievable run through the qualifiers. I mean, he absolutely whizzed through it. This is a world-class player, make no mistake. And Ronnie knows that. And Ronnie's already You know, I think he's thinking, I need to get in this kid's head a bit because Ronnie's his idol. You know, Ronnie's been mentoring him, you know. But this is a proper clash of two great players, and I welcome him back. I welcome him on the world stage, and I'm sure he'll be a credit to the sport going forward.
Barry, thank you so much for your time. Always
Pleasure.
great to